Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Okay, what are you saying, people? Welcome back to another live stream. Hope you're all doing well. Yeah, a bit of a hectic day yesterday. Some news events did skew some things up, but I hope all of you doing well. Like always, guys, another live stream for you. Going to talk you through what's going on in the charts, any trades you're in, or any pairs you're looking at. Feel free to let us know. Different markets as well. Feel free to let us know. We'll take a look at it for you. If you haven't already, make sure you go check out the Telegram. We've got a link to that in the description and also in the chat there as well. Post my different trading setups there, so feel free to check that out. And also, if you're looking for a broker, I've got IC Markets there for you for my affiliate link. If you want to check that out, feel free to go do so as well. But another day in the markets. Currently in a long position on Euro USD, which I got into this morning, looking for a move to the upside. So I'm still quite fairly bearish on the dollar. I'm expecting, you know, all these pairs to go up. FOMC didn't agree with that, of course. We did see quite a big move to the upside on the DXY, on the dollar, so across all the USD pairs basically after that news came out. But I'm just treating that as another opportunity for price to pull back to go in the direction we're expecting. Obviously, I could be wrong, but essentially, you know, my thought process behind this Euro USD position is that essentially I'm not expecting price to break through this level. We've had a couple attempts to break through, had one over there, false break, price snap back up, had a few attempts over yesterday and the day before that to break through, failed to do so, and today, this morning, we put a nice wick into that on the 4H, so that's one of the reasons why I got long, and a nice candlestick pattern there on the hourly, so this one is quite pushing up, to be honest. But yeah, I'm expecting Euro USD and all those other USD pairs to find their strength again, and US dollar to become weak. We'll see how that goes. Hey, Happy New Year to you too, Lewis. How are you doing? Merry Christmas as well. As usual, looking at Euro USD, Pound USD, and USD's our sure thing. We'll get onto that. Morning, Sheriff. How are you doing? Currently, KJ, nice. We'll take a look at that. Good news. So yeah, Euro USD. I'm expecting price to go bullish. Essentially, I found this level here, kind of around the 1.13 mark, which price has had a few attempts to break through, and it keeps failing to do so. So I'm actually currently long in this position with an entry and a stop loss, something like this. It is pushing up quite aggressively. So yeah, I've got an entry and a stop loss, something like that. Targets, you know, at the highs basically, but I do think we can push this one further. But just to be on the safe side, especially because Euro is ranging a lot, that's kind of my trade that I do have on. So yeah, I'm bullish on Euro USD, expecting price to go up, essentially because we're failing to break through support, and you know, as you guys know, if support holds, the market's tending to go bullish. If resistance hold, we're expecting the market to go bearish, keeping it that simple. And essentially, a few attempts to break through, failed to do so. Nice wick down the 4H this morning. So yeah, I'm expecting Euro to continue to the upside. Still expecting bearishness in the DXY, which essentially is still just rejecting the same resistance. Rejecting the same resistance it has been doing, which is this level here. You can see previously, this is where the market turned bearish from. We had a nice move to the upside, again trapping some buyers. Then we absolutely collapsed to the downside from that point. And from there, we've just been respecting it again. Had a nice test there, ran those highs, came all the way down. FOMC here, another retest of that same area. I'm expecting price to come all the way back down. So yeah, for me, the DXY, I'm expecting a push all the way back down to these lows. If I am wrong, price will come back and take those highs out, which is this resistance. If price does reverse and take out this resistance, then my bias, I'll probably alter my bias and have a different view on the DXY. But because that level is still holding, I'm still expecting DXY to come back down to these lows. You can see every time here we're putting another lower low in. So we've got that low there, another low there, another low there. So I'm expecting all these lows to get taken out and price to form us another low somewhere around there. So yeah, DXY, I'm expecting downside for that one, which means Pound USD, I'm also still expecting a bullish movement. Again, Pound USD a little bit corrective with the way it's moving. You can see it's a bit corrective, not as clean. To be fair, I was about to say not as clean as Euro. Euro is not clean at all. But yeah, it's a bit corrective, so I don't imagine Pound's going to move as smoothly, but Pound has been quite bullish over the past few days, so we might see another move to the upside. Yesterday I was talking about Pound coming to 1.36, and I think we just missed that. Yeah, we just missed it, probably like a pip or two. We missed 1.36, so we might go and move towards that 1.36 high again. Either which way, I'm bearish on the dollar, so I'm expecting Pound to push up. Yeah, we'll take a look at KJ and USDR as well. Good morning, DS. How are you doing? Got 43 pips running on USDR short. Should I hold? We'll take a look at that as well. stopped out on Euro USD, NZJPY break even. Unlucky there, Chia. Yeah, Euro USD again yesterday because of FOMC. You know, a lot of pairs would have gone against you with that certain bias because we saw a lot of US dollar strength, a lot of the other JPY pairs went, you know, kind of to the downside a little bit, especially the NZDs and the AUDs. I know NZD USD, NZD CAD, NZD CHF, they all kind of took a hit yesterday, actually coming into the Asian session more or less. Yeah, Asian session really took these pairs to the downside for the NZDs and the AUDs. So yeah, we're seeing quite a lot of movement right now. But again, it's always better to be on the safe side. Again, rather get stopped at a break even than stopped out at a loss, of course, if price was to go to your stop loss. But yeah, we are seeing a lot of fluctuation. Again, that's what the news, FX news has. And again, we also got NFP coming up tomorrow, so that should be interesting as well. But yeah, CAD JPY, you're long on CAD JPY. So yeah, CAD JPY is still quite bullish on this one. Like I said, well, I've probably said it for the past couple of weeks now. I do think CAD JPY can make its way back to those highs up there at 92,500. So long term, I'm still, you know, bullish on CAD JPY just because of the higher time frame and how it's moving. We have seen some downside today. It's pulled back into this support, which has given us a nice wick, and price is still holding. So essentially, if we hold this, price could easily go bullish again and see another move back into those highs. Essentially, you know, put another higher low in, another run to the highs. If we break through, we can go further. If not, we might see some downside. But nonetheless, I do agree with that that bias there for CAD JPY. TP 91,368, 91,368. So okay, that's around that high, which does make sense as well. Because again, a bit of supply resistance there could send us back down again. So yeah, that makes enough sense for me. Again, I'm expecting CAD JPY to attack those highs again. But yeah, we could see some downside from here. And it's always better to protect your trade. So yeah, I completely agree with that one. Bias in the same direction as well. And yeah, JPY is still fairly weak across the board. We'll take a look at USD ZAR. Okay, so USD ZAR, let's start from scratch. Okay, so USD ZAR, USD ZAR is looking bearish. So I had a few attempts to go bullish here. You can see the first attempt over here to go bullish failed, fell over. Second attempt to go bullish, failed again. Third attempt, failed again. So this looks like price is about to roll over. Essentially a little bit like a head and shoulders here. Left, head, right, first lower high. We could roll over. If I go onto the daily chart, we do have, yeah, it does look like USD ZAR is coming back down to those lows there. Try to push through on the daily as well. Essentially just giving us that 1, 2, 3 kind of, and then expecting price to fall over there. So yeah, USD ZAR is looking bearish. We do have kind of like a neckline, which is this support, which price needs to break through. And if it does break through that support, I would imagine it will make its way down to these lows and potentially take them out as well. So if you're looking at opportunities for USD ZAR, simply, you know, wait for price to get its break back underneath this level. We already had a one false break there, so hopefully we can get a true break. A simple retest of that, a few wicks back into that level, and then yeah, shorts back to 15.5 down there is looking good. But yeah, we do need to break through that support, because if not, we could actually see another move up. So yeah, break through that support, and I'll expect USD ZAR to roll over. Yeah, and if that USD weakness, you know, continues, it should help USD ZAR out. But USD ZAR back down to 15.5 is looking likely. USD JPY, we'll take a look at that for you. Short at, yeah, what price are you short at? Weedy, what price are you short? Because that determines whether, you know, you've got enough room to hold price or not. Was your trade up here? Because I remember you saying yesterday, or the stream before yesterday, that you had a trade from 116,300 or 116,200. So yeah, if you've got a trade up here, you're fairly safe. But the only thing is that price is starting to respect this area, which I said, if price does respect this area, is not the best for short buys, because it means that price is now holding demand and we could actually see a continuation to go bullish again. Yeah, so that's not good. Definitely probably want to secure some profits just in case we have quite a big push to the upside, which we could do, because again, this market is still very, very bullish. You mustn't forget that. You can see the way it's moving daily, weekly. Yeah, the market is very, very bullish on pretty much all the higher time frames. So if it wanted to go bullish, it can quickly go bullish. Just a couple big aggressive candles, and price could be trading near the highs again. So yeah, if I was you, I'd secure some profit. 116.288. Yeah, so that's a really, really good entry up here somewhere. So yeah, you're definitely got some protection. There's a lot of support resistance that price has to break through before it can get to your entry price. But yeah, I'll definitely take some profit, because where's your target? Where's your target for the trade? Because that would be a nice target there, which is just underneath that area of price seems to be finding support. So yeah, that's a little bit annoying there, but yeah, I'll definitely take some profit off the table, secure that just in case. But yeah, that's not a good sign. So essentially you want price to lose that bullish momentum and have another go at breaking through that support. And then if it can break through that support, then yeah, there should be a lot more mileage on your trade. But if price is holding this, it does mean that it could have another run at the highs again. So essentially, yeah, do be careful about that support, 115.700. If price remains holding that, I'll probably think about exiting the trade completely. We'll see how that candle closes. Got about 28 minutes. TP at 115.5. Okay, so it makes sense at that previous high. So yeah, that makes perfect sense. It's just that the market is just holding that support just slightly higher. So again, that's another important aspect of trading. Be able to adapt when the market's giving you signs that something else might happen. Because what some people can do, and what I've been doing a lot in the past, is I would have a TP somewhere, price would get sort of quite near to it, not many pips away, find resistance from it, get some nice bearish rejection, and then go against me. And then in hindsight, it made more sense just to close the trade, because it's still a winner. You still caught a decent amount of pips. It might not be the overall TP you're looking for. But you always have to be on your toes, because price does change all the time. So yeah, I'll definitely take some profit off the table. We'll see how that candle closes. Got about 27 minutes. But yeah, for that 115.500 to hit, we do need to break through this, which at the moment in time is not looking too good right now. I see any good entries today? Yeah, well, I'm currently in Euro USD right now. I'm long on Euro USD, so I did put that on Telegram a little bit late. My apologies for that. But yeah, I'm currently long in Euro USD. Essentially, I'm looking for this support to hold here at 1.13, which the market is doing quite well to hold. Couple false breaks underneath. So we had one last week, was that? Yeah, last week, and a couple more this week. But essentially, that area, that price has not, broken. And yeah, if we can hold that, I do think the market could go bullish again for Euro USD and come and tap these highs up here. And essentially, I'm looking for a run back into those highs there for Euro USD. So yeah, that's the plan for this position right now. Again, Euro USD overall has been quite sideways, so I will be on my toes for this one. If we come into these highs here and start rejecting quite heavily, I'll probably just close the trade and not try and hold on to it too long, because looking at this on the daily, it's difficult to trade. It's difficult to trade because of how it's moving. Yeah, essentially you want to be buying from the lows, selling from the highs. Probably the most effective way to trade a market moving in this nature. So if the market is showing me some signs that it's not breaking through a resistance, I'll be very quick to just exit the trade and move on to the next one. But if I do get impulsive candles like we did here, very, very strong candles, to the upside, something like that, then I could probably hold on to it, maybe even past these highs and maybe catch the reversal. So yeah, that's very wishful thinking if we could catch the reversal. But Yeah, I'm just looking for pushing to this level here. That's the first kind of target, major target. We do have some minor resistance here on the left, but I do think we can push through, and then that area I'll be keeping my eye out. If we can break through that, great. We'll be looking at the next area, and then yeah, just keep an eye on price action from there. Hey Rich Uncle, how you doing? What would be a good entry in Euro USD? A good entry in Euro USD, well, supposing that you haven't entered already, you probably need price to retrace coming back down. Maybe there could be a good entry in the 4H if you're looking to trade the 4H time frame, because if this closes as a nice bullish engulfing here, that could be a nice entry signal essentially when you stop loss below the support, and you could be looking for a move into those highs. So depending if you want to trade the 4H, wait for that candlestick closure, which is about 3 hours and 24 minutes, so a fair bit away. But there could be a nice entry signal on the 4H. Again, a lot will happen in 3 hours time, so we'll have to wait and see. But if you're looking at hourly or lower, you do want to see some retracement now, because price has obviously shown some nice bullish momentum there on the lower time frame. So you want price to come down, form another high low, or retest that support before you can go bullish, or if you want to go bullish anyway. But yeah, essentially you need price to come back down again, or break a certain level and come back to retest it, because yeah, this one is already moving. What I think about pound NZD, yeah, we'll take a look at pound NZD. Yeah, pound NZD has been very, very bullish. I was speaking on this one yesterday, and I was talking about potentially one more move to the upside before we do find some resistance. We were trading around here yesterday, I believe, and I was looking at this resistance here. You can see major wicks to the upside. So I'm looking for a price essentially to come into here, which is around basically 2 on the dot, really. That's a very, very strong psychological level there. And I think we can see some downside from here for pound NZD for some retracement, because we've had quite a strong bullish run here. And I do think we can come back and test the neckline of this kind of kind of variation of the head and shoulder pattern here. Kind of left, the head, right shoulder there, and we've broken through. So I'm looking for price to come back and retest this level, since we never got the retest when we did break through. So I think we can see some downside back into there, but we do have to hold on to this level of resistance. So yeah, pound NZD could present some nice selling opportunities. I think I'll probably wait for the daily candle to close, because it's looking very, very bullish right now, and sales could be good, but just a tad bit aggressive, because there's no reason why price has to hold onto this resistance. We can break through, put in some new highs or something. We don't have to hold this resistance. So if the daily candle can pull back, show some nice wick rejection, then tomorrow there could be some nice sells. But yeah, if today's candle closes like way above here, then obviously we've broken through, we might see some more upside. But I'll be looking for pound as these sells. I'm not really interested in the buys. We're coming into a really, really nice area, and if we do respect it, we could see another swing right back down again. So yeah, I'll keep my eye my eye open for those sells for pound NZD. Yeah, as of right now, a little bit too aggressive for shorts, but yeah, I would have a short bias if we do hold into that level. But yeah, I'll probably wait for the daily candle to close. How's pound AUD doing? Pound AUD is looking very, very bullish. To be honest with pound AUD, it looks like price is getting ready to actually run these highs and push on further. The way price has moved, very, very aggressive. It's putting a higher low in. I do think we're probably going to come and run these highs at 1.89. So I wouldn't be inclined to sell pound AUD, which is not the best, because you kind of want pound NZD and pound AUD to correlate. You want to be looking for sells in both of them or buys in both of them. If one of them is looking like it will push up and one's looking like it will move down, they're not really in sync, not the best. Confluence there. But yeah, essentially, pound AUD looks like it'll probably run those highs. Yes, it might respect it, come down a little bit, but I do think we'll probably run those highs. So that might mean pound USD will run those highs as well. we'll have to wait and see. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Again, guys, if you are enjoying the stream, feel free to leave a like. It does really help the channel out. Subscribe if you haven't done already. Join the family. All that is much appreciated. Long opportunity for pound CHF. We'll take a look at that. What time frame are you looking at for pound CHF? Suppose hourly. Nice break and retest of this resistance here. Nice wicks into that as well. Yeah, it's not a bad long opportunity. I can't really disagree too much on that one. It's just pound CHF is in an area which I'm not the biggest fan of, because if I just zoom out onto the daily, you can see where we're coming into. Not a nice area. An area of supply, an area of resistance here. You can see heavy sells from that area. So buying into that area isn't the best idea. Obviously, the structure in the hourly is bullish. In the daily, we're still getting bullish momentum. Everything is quite bullish there. But the bigger and the stronger structure is obviously to the downside. If the market wants to go bearish, it could potentially go bearish from that level. So again, it's up to you, because it's all about being consistent with your way of trading. If you're paying attention to the structure here, you can see it's bullish. You're looking for buys. We just had a nice break and retest. They're not by all means, you can go long. It's a perfectly good long. But the way I like to trade is I like to factor in as much things as possible, especially the higher time frames. And personally, I wouldn't go long into this just because of where it is. Doesn't mean the trade won't work. We could easily still go and run the highs again and see another leg to the upside. But it's just not the best place to go long. I'd rather I've got long somewhere down here than up there, if that makes sense. But yeah, it does look like a good break and retest, and if it does hold, I would expect a move higher. It's just on the daily, things are not quite agreeing. Yeah, no pain, no gain. Certainly no pain, no gain. I mean, that candle still has about 18 minutes left to close. They can still pull back, so I'd wait. I'll wait for it to close. 30-minute looks alright, to be honest, but I'll probably wait for hourly. GU buys. Okay, we'll take a look at GU. Hey Captain Fab, how you doing? Eurocad. Yeah, we'll take a look at that as well. Pound USD buys at 1.35046. Okay, we'll take a look at that. 1.35046. Okay, so that's around here. Nice entry, to be honest there. Yeah, so pound USD, I'm fairly bullish on. The market is a little bit corrective, which is not the best sign, but it is still moving bullish. You can see a really nice trend line there as well by connecting these lows here. So first, second, third, saw a fourth test as well. Then we got another test this morning, and essentially price is just slowly making its way to the upside very correctively. I'm still expecting dollar weakness, so that should help drive price up. But yeah, pound USD still looking bullish, still occupying that channel, and as long as we can hold that channel, I would expect price to go bullish again. If we do break out the channel, that's when I'll change my bias and probably look for sells. But as of right now, I'm still bullish. We're holding a really nice psychological level of 1.35. Essentially we could see another swing back up into 1.36. So yeah, I fully agree with that one. With pound USD, pound's been quite strong as well, so it does look like a good currency to go long against, well, long with, I should say. I know we've seen a little bit of weakness there, but mainly due to dollar strength there. So yeah, pound for me still looking like good buys. A little bit corrective. That's the only thing I don't like about how it's moving. But yeah, pound looks good. I'll probably look at 1.36 as a target. Euro UD, we'll get onto that one. Yeah, sure, I'll take a look at Eurocad and Euro NZD as well, Yazin. Hey, cheers Lewis, much appreciated. So Euro AUD, yeah. So Euro AUD, massive move to the upside. I was not expecting that yesterday. I was expecting more AD strength, so I was expecting price to come and take these lows out. However, price formed a bit of a double bottom there, respected that, and started moving to the upside very strongly after FOMC and an Asian session. We absolutely flew to the upside there. So looking fairly bullish for the day. Of course, the day's still got about 11 hours left, so a lot can happen. But yeah, Euro AD looking fairly bullish here, taking those highs out. So Euro AD is a little bit of a tricky one, the way it's moving. If I'm going to be completely honest, I would say we could see some retracement and another move higher, but I wouldn't be surprised if price comes all the way back down to these lows with how it's moving. I'll definitely probably wait for a daily close to understand where the momentum is and things, because we had some nice support here which basically turned resistance and sent us to the downside. So that's mainly why I was expecting UAD to continue to move down, take those lows out, see some new lows. But we formed a high low and price is pushing back into this daily resistance now. So, does it break through or does it hold? And obviously the only way to find that out is to wait for the end of the day. But we're still looking fairly bullish, so I wouldn't really touch UAD to be honest. We'll come into some nice area where some sales could be present. 158, really nice psychological level. Also some areas of resistance and supply here as well. You can see with those pullbacks and those sharp moves to the downside coming to that same area. So again, there could be some sells, but in my opinion, a little bit too aggressive. I'll definitely wait for a daily candle closure to get more information on this one. As of right now, I think some retracement would be likely. So that's why I'm saying sells potentially could be there. Nothing I would trade though. I wouldn't really look for an opportunity in this one until after the day just to get more information, because right now it's not too clear for me. So yeah, maybe some sells back down into this area. But after that, I wouldn't really do anything too much to it, because I want to see if the daily holds that resistance or if it breaks through. If it does break through, then we could be well onto our way into these highs up here. That way, we could be looking for our buys after retracement. But if it does hold, like I said, we could easily run back to these lows here. So I'll wait to see how the daily closes, see if we form a higher low, and if we do, we could probably target these highs here next, which is around the 1.59 area. Eurocad and USD. So Euro, where is it? Okay, Eurocad's over here. So yeah, Eurocad I'm still kind of bearish on. I want to see if this current bullish momentum can kind of fail. And if it does fail, then I think we'll come straight back down here for Eurocad. Essentially, we've seen a nice kind of move to the upside. We're coming to some support, now turn resistance here for the first time. We never actually came back for a retest. We kind of just missed it, and now we've come into that area. So for me, Eurocad can see a lot of downside if we hold into these areas, because we have run these highs here, which could just be a bit of a false, kind of a false move above those highs, grab liquidity, fake people out. We've seen this pattern happen quite a few times now. This could be just, kind of a larger double top here. And if that is the case, all the way down there is what I'm expecting Eurocad to move into. If not, and we go bullish, we do need to see price find some bullish momentum again and break through this level, because that will give us the price action necessary for price to move up, retrace, and maintain that kind of bullish momentum on the daily. Because if you look at the larger picture here, especially on the weekly as well, with that support there on the left, turn resistance, and had such a nice reaction to it. If you go on the weekly, it looks like price has put another lower high, and after lower high, we expect price to run back into the lows. So yeah, if we do hold that support resistance in the 4H, I'm expecting price to come back down to these lows, and it does look like we're seeing that momentum come through. So yeah, I would say I'm short on Eurocad. Well, I'm not short, but I would have a short bias on Eurocad. But we do need to stay below that. If we turn bullish again and run those highs and see a daily close above, then we could go bullish. But if we can maintain this today, yeah, I'm expecting a push into those lows. So that means a lot of selling opportunities could be coming up for Eurocad. Euro NZD, this one looking, semi-bearish as well. It did run to the upside very, very aggressively, so naturally we do expect to see some retracement sooner rather than later. If I highlight this support, which essentially held, so 1.65600, we had so many attempts at price trying to hold this level, and essentially, we came back again, price held it, and another move to the upside, breaking out this consolidation here. So yeah, Euro NZD is looking fairly bullish, going on a daily. Overall, that's kind of consolidation, to be honest, but I do think we can run back to these highs, but first we need to put that higher low in. So yeah, Euro NZD looking very, very bearish now. I personally wouldn't sell it. We could see some downside because of retracement. I personally wouldn't sell it. I'll be looking to see what we do on the kind of retest of the consolidation. If we can hold this, if we do, fantastic. That'd be a great place to go long, and we can look for moving to those highs down the left in 1.68. So yeah, I wouldn't short it. There's not really much going for the shorts. Obviously, if things do develop, then maybe, but right now, yeah, massive bearish candle, but I wouldn't short it for Euro NZD. So Euro NZD, I'll be looking at those longs there to go bullish and move that up if we can hold that. So yeah, I would say just focus your attention on that level, 1.66700-ish. And if you can hold that, potentially go long. How do your USD CAD trade went? Did it survive the news? No, I exited my USD CAD trade. Was in some nice shorts a couple days ago now. So yeah, I had my trade here with my stops above that high, and I was targeting this low here. So yeah, I was in the trade during the stream, and we had some support here, kind of like the double top. So you can see. So we got the first high there, the second high there, got into nice entries there, nice move to the downside. Then we formed this low here. So I said on the stream that if we don't break above this, I'll stay in the trade. If we do break above this support term resistance, I would exit the trade, because essentially, my original target was about 100 pips away, and I already had about 60 pips running, so I'm not going to risk losing 60 pips and potentially more if it goes into a drawdown, just to obtain another 40. So yeah, price broke above that, I would exit the trade. So I did exit on that candle there. Price then came back above. I was actually going to look for another entry to get back into some USD CAD shorts, but as price got closer to FOMC, I decided not to, and then we had a massive candle that broke above into that level there. So yeah, USD CAD, I managed to exit there. I did secure some profits coming into my first TP area there. So yeah, it was not a bad trade. I still think USD CAD can roll over, to be honest. It is running these highs down the left. So I do think USD CAD can go bearish again. Not going to go bearish right now, simply because we had that move to the highs. So I want to see a bit more development first. Put another lower high in, I'll go short again. But yeah, USD CAD, I exited a few hours before FOMC, kind of like 6-7 hours before FOMC, and then yeah, we did see that kind of run to the upside there. So but yeah, if I stayed in, that would not have survived FOMC. Okay, short on both of them, fair enough. I mean, Eurocad, I do agree with those shorts a lot. I do like those shorts a lot. They are looking good, especially if we can keep that momentum up. Euro NZD is not clear enough for me. It's not saying that it won't go short. It's looking quite bearish now off that candle. It's not saying that, yeah, they won't go short. It's just not clear enough for me. Eurocad is looking quite good, so that one does look like that one could play out nicely. Euro NZD, I'm still not sold on that one yet. But yeah, if that trade does play out well, happy days, happy days. But yeah, I just want a little bit more from it before I can say I'm confident that yeah, potentially price can come down yet. But yeah, we did see a lot of movement yesterday. A lot of these pairs, again, NZD USD, expecting price just to continue up. Obviously, FOMC, anything could happen, and anything did happen because that was a big push to the downside there for NZD USD. AUD also took a massive hit there as well. Again, Asian session really did continue that momentum because I went to bed probably around here-ish, and then the Asian session dump and I woke up probably around there-ish, and price has already made such a substantial move there. So we've seen a lot of weakness coming into the market for AUD pairs and NZD pairs. So just do a quick scan through those pairs. Yeah, NZD has been quite weak, starting to gain some strength now, which is, you know, helping up with your USD short. But yeah, we've seen a lot of weakness there, so I'm kind of waiting for things to settle a little bit. Again, Euro USD's price has just come back to that support, so that's gone along there. That's a big pullback there. But yeah, essentially, as long as we can hold above that support, I'm looking for price to go bullish. Now, I think I'll probably be looking at Eurocad as well, for some shorts as well, to take that one back down if we can keep that momentum up. I think will be a very, very important factor is how that daily candle closes, because if that closes with a nice wick to the upside, then essentially that support on the left, which is the level that I'm looking for price to hold, essentially, which is what I was trading from for my original short trade. If that closes with a nice wick, that means we could roll over tomorrow. But again, tomorrow's a little bit sketchy because we do have NFP, so I might not look for positions tomorrow. But yeah, if Euro USD can hold that support, then I probably would stay in through NFP. If we start breaking through or start coming back into that then NFP, I might just exit the trade if it hasn't failed. But yeah, Euro USD, nasty pullback there, but I'm still looking for that push into that high. We could come back for another retest. I mean, that I potentially could look for another re-entry actually if we do get another signal. So I've been looking at that, back testing a lot, looking to add to my trades when price does come back into the support or resistance that I'm selling at. And more often than not, it makes sense to actually add another trade on. If I do get another signal, of course. So yeah, I'll be looking at potentially to add another trade on there for Euro. Seeing a lot of JPY strength. A lot of these JPY pairs have retraced a lot. Pound JPY there, quite a big move. Almost hit 158, which I was talking about potentially price coming into. 158's up there. We came fairly close to it before price took a little bit of a dive. We can still move up and go and hit 158, to be honest. We'll have to wait and see. And we saw a big dive for some of these indices as well. US 100 absolutely tanked, which I was not expecting either, but yeah, very, very aggressive move. And price broke back underneath those very, very strong level of resistance, critical region. Price essentially fell to maintain price above those areas. We broke above, unsuccessful, break and retest pattern, essentially fell back underneath, and looks like price is on its way down to these lows here. So yeah, UK 100 longs could be looking good actually back at this support. Yeah, for another move back up and just essentially play the range. Same with US 30 coming back into some key support. If we can hold that, could be some nice longs back in. Looking for some retracement of that bearish move. Gold, we've seen a lot of downside for gold. Again, we were expecting a move back up to the kind of the 1830 area, back up into that kind of major level of resistance. So you can see very, very strong reactions from that. So we're looking for another test of that level, which we did get. We did get for gold. Again, I wasn't trading gold, it wasn't very clean. I was in Eurocad at the time as well. So yeah, I wasn't really favouring getting to gold. It wasn't really moving well. But we did see that move up to 1830. And then yeah, from there FOMC said no, and price absolutely dropped. So gold is just moving not well, to be honest. As where I see gold going next, it's not even very clear, to be honest. We are definitely coming into some support region around here, which price is holding on to. But we have formed a lower high there. Price has tried to move up, failed to take those highs out, and it actually dumped from that. So we could go bullish again, because essentially the market is kind of still weakly bullish the way it's moving. So we could see another move back up. But I'm not a fan of how we've come down like that. If anything, we could see a move up just to come even further back down again. So yeah, for me, gold not moving well. I probably will be a bit patient with this one. And normally when there's a pair that I don't understand or it's not really making too much sense to me, I normally just wait for the day candle to close, give it another session. So obviously it would be the New York session. I'll give it New York session to maybe clear up, wait for the daily things to close, and then come back it again the next day to see if I can make sense of it. But gold for me doesn't really make too much sense. It looks like it's about to roll over. No real clear opportunities to trade it, to be honest though. No real clear opportunities to trade that. Silver absolutely tanked, so maybe gold might follow, to be honest. But yeah, I'm expecting some DXY weakness, so we'll see how that continues. Again, if that is successful and price doesn't break through that level, then we could be seeing price go way past this, because as a lot of you know who do watch my streams often, I'll be talking about price coming back down to here for quite a while now. So that's essentially what I'm looking for DXY to do. Right now, price is kind of trading in a grey area where if price does push past this level, I'll probably rethink my bias. If we can maintain this, I'll maintain that bearish bias of price coming all the way back down to there. If we break above this, then we could go bullish again for DXY and run to these highs. So coming to that critical region where it's either the bulls will take control or the bears. I'm anticipating the bears, of course. That's mainly why I'm in Euro USD longs. But we'll see what happens, because if price does come back and smash through this level, then we could be coming back down to here for Euro. And if that's the case, a nice break and retest of that support would be a good opportunity. But we'll have to wait and see. Maybe NFP might have a say tomorrow. Pound still looking overly strong. I mean, looking at the USD pairs now, bullish candle, but again, that bullish candle doesn't make too much difference to all those bear candles. USD CAD, how did USD CAD close? USD CAD closed fairly strong bearish. But again, that momentum needs to maintain. USD CHF pulled back quite aggressively there, so USD CHF still looking quite bullish actually, to be honest. The way it's moving, but again, still trading at a very strong resistance. So we'll see if that can hold. If that level does hold, again, USD CHF back to these lows. If not, again, we could be seeing that reversal come through, and areas up here is generally where you'll be targeting. Break above that, retest, and we can see that continuation. To be fair, Eurocad is probably the pair that I've got my eye on most. Obviously, after my trade on Euro USD, Eurocad does take my eye the most, because if we do hold into that successfully, I do think we can roll over to these lows, which is quite a drop. That's about 200 pips to the downside, or more than 200 pips to the downside. So there is a lot of room, a lot of pips to catch. So if we can hold on to that, yeah, I'll see if I can get involved in Eurocad to take this lower, hopefully get a trade in before NFP, so maybe NFP can help push it in our favor. But yeah, because currently I'm long on Euro USD, so I'm looking for Euro strength. So for me to get short in Eurocad, it means I want Euro weakness. So it kind of does contradict my trade a little bit. So essentially, if Euro USD does fail and goes south, that means Eurocad will probably work, which means I can look for some entries on that one. But if Euro USD does continue bullish, that means Eurocad might fail. So we'll see. Yeah, USDJPY did end up holding that support, so that is not the best of signs there, because it does mean that potentially we could go bullish. You know, we got one wick into that, a lot of wicks, another couple wicks this morning as well. Essentially that 115,700 level is holding quite firmly, so it does mean that we could turn bullish quite easily, because again, very, very bullish market. 4 hour, daily, weekly, even monthly, USDJPY is looking bullish. So yeah, we could push up. So yeah, I probably wouldn't hold into that trade much longer, because it could go north. Most pips I would call on a winning trade. To be fair, I'm trying to think. NZDJPY, I mean, to be fair, I haven't really held on to trades. I used to hold on to trades very, very long. Like, about a year and a half ago, I used to hold on to my trades for like sometimes over 2 weeks. So I could rack up the pips quite a lot with those trades, and I was trading more on the 4H stroke daily time frame. So yeah, pips were coming a lot. Obviously I had a much bigger stop loss, but yeah, I was racking up a lot of pips. The past year and a half, I've gone to more smaller time frames, like the hourly, so haven't caught too many, you know, big trades. The last kind of bigger trade that I've caught was NZDJPY, which was all the way over here, some entries around there. So that was around about 150, 160 pips. But yeah, I don't think, because yeah, back a year and a half ago, I probably would have hit about 200, maybe 250. But in recent times, I probably wouldn't be over 120. Yeah. Gold, I did catch a nice short on that one not too long ago. That was all the way over here. And gold's obviously got a lot of pips, so somewhere around there, caught that drop, which was 460 pips. But again, that's gold, so it does give you a lot of pips. But yeah, 460 on gold was not bad. But yeah, in recent times, probably wouldn't look more than 110, 120 pips. Hey Astro Creep, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Did you end up closing your gold trade before FOMC? Because gold did take quite a bit of a hit yesterday. I mean, I remember we were looking at gold somewhere around here yesterday during the stream, breaking out consolidation, coming back for the retest, and then we saw some nice continuations after the stream, after I ended it. But then yeah, FOMC kind of took a U-turn down things. I mean, it did hit kind of your TP, didn't it? Coming to 1830, didn't quite hit those highs, but actually it might have done. But it did come into that 1830 area. Hey, much appreciated, DS. What price would get in Eurocad? Eurocad, to be fair, if Eurocad closes strongly in the 4H, you could probably enter after that candle there. Obviously that's about 2 hours and 50 minutes, so a lot can happen in 2 hours and 50 minutes. But essentially Eurocad, I want to get involved in kind of anywhere in this region to get short, anywhere here really. So don't really care as to where it is specifically, but as long as the market doesn't break through that area, you know, and if it does roll over, I'm looking for a lower high somewhere to take that down to the downside. So essentially, I'm just trying to get into the market, you know, after a little bit of retrace. So it looks like we are successfully, you know, rejecting that area. So, you know, any bit of retrace, I would look to enter some short. So not specifically a price I'm looking for. Specifically, I don't want this level to break, which is 1.44600. But as a price to enter, don't really have one. I'm more looking for candlestick patterns, which could happen at any price really. So I'm not too bothered about the price. I'm just looking for the best entry signal. But yeah, generally just in this area, I'm looking for that lower high to take that lower. But it could be a nice entry just after that 4H candle closes in about 2 hours 48 minutes, depending if it does close well. And for obviously a stop loss above the high. But we will have to see. ADCHF took a nice hit as well. Again, I was looking to get short on ADCHF coming into this morning, and I was hoping that nothing happened during the agent session. But so much happened during the agent session last night. Massive downside for a lot of the AUD and NZD pairs. And after we had this really nice rejection here on ADCHF, I was quite confident we can get a move back down to this support. So I was hoping we could just consolidate overnight. But price kind of just really took a dump to the downside quite heavily there. So kind of missed that opportunity. If it does retrace, great, I could really look for some entries, but yeah, I kind of missed that one. But ADCHF still looking good to come back down to 0.65400. Some support here, I guess, if we can get a retest of that. I'm not sure if we will. If we do, we'll have a look at price action there, but ideally want price to move a little bit higher than that. But we'll wait and see. We will wait and see. So yeah, currently in Euro USD, price looks like it might be coming back down for another retest of this area, because that is a very strong rejection there with that candle. So price might be coming back down for another retest of that area. So like I said, if I do get another entry signal, because price hasn't really moved into my first TP yet, which was up there. It was around about 10-11 pips away from my first TP, which is not a lot, but again, when my stop loss is about 30 pips, you know, I need price to be moving a lot higher to make the risk towards, you know, worthwhile. So yeah, because price hasn't hit my first TP, which is that level there, I'm really seeing quite a bit of rejection. So if we do come back and retest this level successfully again, I will probably look to stick a second position to see if I can get a move to the upside, and just take advantage of that retest. If it's successful, of course. If we just break below, then obviously I won't add a second position. And if we do, then fantastic. I'll still be looking at this level here, because this level could still roll us over to the downside. But yeah, that's my main focus there for Euro USD, because essentially the market is still ranging. I'm just looking for it to basically bounce from that support up. but I do think we can roll over the DXY, so that's kind of the main confidence behind it. I do think DXY can drop, but it might be waiting for NFP for that. It might even be waiting for something next week. You know, it doesn't have to do it today, it doesn't have to do it tomorrow, it doesn't have to do it this week. Price can still come up, retest, mess around a little bit, maybe even fake out, which is the kind of annoying thing about swing trading, because you could enter your trade on Tuesday, but then it only starts, you know, flowing and making sense on Friday. Whereas day trading is very, you know, if you're right or wrong. So we'll wait and see for that. Pound AUD at a very, very key area of resistance. We'll see if we can hold that or not. Price is still looking bullish. I would not come into sells there. Yes, we can see some downside, but that's not really my cup of tea. I'll wait for price to give me a lot more signals than that. That will coming down, and that's like a bearish. It's like an evening star sort of, with the bullish candle, the doji, the bearish candle. But yeah, I need a little bit more than that. So yeah, I don't have my eyes on too many pairs. I did have my eyes on a few AD pairs, but they kind of moved without me. So kind of waiting for them to retrace. NZD-CAD does look good. I think NZD-CAD could roll over back down to these lows. I'll speak on NZD-CAD a fair bit yesterday, talking about this consolidation here, that if we can break out to the upside, retest, we can go long, or if we break to the downside, retest, we can go short. We did break to the upside yesterday on for NZD-CAD above these highs. Obviously that was short-lived. Price kind of retested a few times, snapped back underneath, Asian session, big move to the downside into the lows of the range, kind of pushing back in now. But essentially we faked out to the upside, so I'm looking for price to see if we can maintain that momentum and roll over into these lows. The only thing that is stopping NZD-CAD from doing that is this major level of support resistance on the daily. You can see very, very critical support there. You know, big moves from this level, and now we're trading at that level. So price kind of needs to break out this consolidation, but also break out that very, very strong support. And if it does, you know, we do have a very good probability that price will make its way down to these lows here. So yeah, if we can get a break of that, which we kind of did, but it's not the most convincing break. If we can, you know, really break through, I will be looking for a bit of retracement on this, and we'll be taking some shorts back down into these levels here. That's if we break down. If we just push back into inside this consolidation, I'll leave price alone, because yeah, I wouldn't have a clear idea of what price could do, so it wouldn't make sense to me to continue to look to short it. So yeah, NZD-CAD, if we can break the lows, because we had a fake of the highs, that'd be fantastic. Getting some shorts. If we just break back in, then I'll just leave the pair alone. Either which way, when we do eventually, you know, decide on the direction price wants to go, it will either be to these highs or to those lows, really. So I would definitely be looking to get into a position, either up or down. Just wait and see which one it will be. So yeah, NZD-CAD I'll have my eye on. USD-CAD I'll have my eye on as well, looking for this one to roll over. Only if we can get some, you know, good daily closures with some wicks to the upside, because price right now is still looking too bullish for me for some shorts on USD-CAD. Need a little bit more from it, but USD-CAD I do have that in mind. NZD-CAD looks good. Anything else? Eurocad, I forgot about Eurocad. Eurocad, if I can get some shorts in that one, that will be start looking a lot better. If that momentum can continue. But yeah, nothing too much elsewhere. obviously currently in EURUSD, but other than that I'm not seeing too much elsewhere here. So yeah, and especially with NFP coming in tomorrow, we saw FOMC make quite a big ruckus yesterday. NFP might want to go and do the same tomorrow, so definitely be careful out there, guys, because definitely some people would have blown some accounts after FOMC with that movement, and also some people would have made a lot of money as well. There's both sides of that coin, but yeah, you don't want to get caught on the wrong side, so it's definitely better to manage that risk, look after your capital. And there's nothing there, it's best just to leave it. It's always better to not take a trade than take a bad trade that you regret after you take it. Trust me, that is definitely a true statement. And especially with it being New Year and all, I know a lot of people would have a lot of goals and things they want to accomplish, so they might get a bit ahead of themselves and jump into the trades to try and make that happen. And again, they can definitely make that happen. It's just patience is also a big part of it as well. But yeah, looking around, not seeing too much. Gold, like I said, if you can form a lower high, another lower high, I'd happily short the pair. Other than that, I'm not really looking at too much. I'm seeing a lot of rejection now. Silver's actually tanked to the downside, so I think gold will follow behind that. We normally do see silver and gold have very strong correlations, and I've noticed a lot recently that when silver makes a move, gold normally follows that move after a period of time or so. It's normally like lagging behind it. So yeah, after this dump here from silver, I do think there's a good chance gold will continue to dump as well. Obviously gold did dump, I'm not saying it hasn't dumped, but I do think there's a lot more downside for it. Is that oil? Well, oil was pushing to the upside very, very strongly. Did not notice that. That probably will be helping out with CAD's strength there. But yeah, oil is looking fairly bullish coming to these areas there. Yeah, I think next week, hopefully don't have any too many major news announcements. Could be a good week to get really fully back into the markets again, because this week's been not bad, to be honest. It's just a lot of erratic behavior, and some pairs are still kind of consolidating as well, making their mind up of which way they want to go. But yeah, I'm still looking for that overall dollar weakness and looking for euro to push bullish, and pound as well. But pound has already kind of hit the target I had for the week, which is 1.36. Pound has already hit that target, so pound for me could roll over if it wanted to. It doesn't have to come back and hit 1.36, to the pip. Just generally around that area as well, target. Because if we look to the left for pound, this is kind of the area that I'm looking for price to come into. So if you just get a rectangle of that area, that support and that resistance, and I'll just take that across, you can see prices generally come into that area. But I just call it 1.36 because psychological level, and it just kind of round things up. But we have come into that area. So pound's kind of hit the target of the week, but we could still move to the upside because, like I said earlier, we're still respecting this channel here. Really nice high-low formations. We put another one in, so if you do respect that again, I do think pound can move up higher. And pound has been quite strong as well, so that could help. Pound CHF close quite strong there as well, but like I said, I wouldn't go short because of that that price action down the left. I mean, I wouldn't go long, sorry, because that price action down the left doesn't make too much sense. But again, bullish structure, nice break and retest. We could push forward. Just not a trade that I would take though. Hey, no problem, Patrick. Happy to help. Happy to help, bro. Yeah, if people are enjoying the content, feel free to leave a like on the video. It does help the channel out. Does help the video as well. So yeah, if you are enjoying the content, feel free to like, subscribe to the channel, and you'll join the family if you haven't done already. And hit the bell as well, so you don't miss out on any streams coming out in the future. But yeah, Eurocad. If Eurocad keeps that momentum up, I will definitely be looking at the shorts on this one. To come back to the lows. I mean, you can see I've drawn that wick there and taken that across. Price is still kind of resting on it, which is not the best sign, because it means that we could find support there and push bullish. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want the momentum to pick up, well, to maintain, so we can come back below that area, you know, kind of confirm the false break of that high, and then yeah, I can take this one a lot lower. Sure, no problem, Lewis. No problem at all. Enjoy making the content as well. So if you guys find it useful, that's happy days. I've had an IC markets account for 2 years, but never really used it. I was told the withdrawal process is difficult and confusing. Is this so? No, I've got an IC markets account which I've had for about 2 years as well. And yeah, withdrawals are fine. There's a lot of different ways you can withdraw, but again, I pretty much just draw directly into my bank, and it takes roughly around couple days tops. Yeah, withdrawal process is quite good with IC markets. I mean, there's only one way to find out, is that's obviously to do it yourself. Obviously, you don't have to put a lot of money inside. I'm pretty sure that the minimum deposit is like £50, so I don't know, dollars or something. So yeah, you can just put that into it and then just withdraw it straight out and see the process for yourself. But yeah, withdrawals have been good for me. Hey MJ, how are you doing? Thoughts on £1 short thing? IC markets, no problem, withdraw. Hey, nice. Well, okay, use it for crypto then. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I haven't used it for crypto, but you can definitely use it for crypto on that. Euro pound. Okay, so Euro pound has been very bearish recently. Again, my analysis for this one for the week, I was quite bearish coming into the week. Again, I still do have targets at 0.3 for this one. First targets were 0.3500, which we pretty much hit, so I'm looking for 0.3. And I was looking for a break and retest of this level here, which I just missed at the start of the week. So we had a nice support there. We had a break and retest there. This is the daily time frame, by the way. Had a nice support there, nice break and retest, which failed. We broke below, retested a few times, failed to see that rollover. We snapped back in. This time we broke below, got a successful break and retest, and rolled over. So yeah, missed entries up here on the hourly time frame. But yeah, the market is still bearish. Like I said, 0.83, I can still see the market hit. And basically 0.83, if I go in the higher time frames, is this support down here. which is essentially just where I'm expecting price to come into. It might break through 1.83, it might reject and fly bullish. I have no idea, we'll see how price reacts with it. But essentially I'm thinking price is just making its way slowly to that area. So that's what I'm saying, 0.83, I can still see a bit more downside for this one. Again, we've had quite a strong move to the downside recently, so the market is due some retracement, but I'm looking at how it's moving right now. It's still showing a lot of signs that the bears for Euro Pound is still holding strong. We've had some nice support here on the left, which has just turned into resistance right now. Nice test yesterday, and we're coming for another test again today, and it essentially looks like it's holding. So yeah, if we can hold below that, some shorts will be looking good here, and I think we can push it back into these lows at least. And if we can snap through the lows, then we could be looking at 0.83 down there, which would be nice, but we do need to break through because price could just form a little bit of a range, which Euro Pound is quite known for doing that. It does range a lot. You can see it formed a really nice range over there, same thing over there. So we do need to break the lows there for Euro Pound for this to really get going, because if it doesn't, it might just fluctuate. But yeah, essentially we're having a break and retest of that prior low. It looks like it's holding there, so I'd expect price to now move lower and targets at 0.83. But obviously you don't have to target there. You can target that support, you can target something else. But essentially from a high time frame perspective, that's where I can see price heading towards. Hey Ross, how are you doing? Any trades, or have you planned any entries? Yeah, I'm currently in Euro USD. I'm currently in Euro USD right now. Looking for a move back into the highs of the range here. Again, essentially the theory behind this trade, the analysis behind it, is that the market's found the support here that has failed to break through for some time now. So I'm essentially looking for the market to hold this again and see some upside. So you can see here, nice support there, a bit of a false break last week, snapped below, came back above, nice retest and nice move up. We've come back into that same level again. We broke below a couple of times, couldn't sustain ourselves below the price. Nice move to the upside yesterday, FOMC here, take us right back down. And then after we put this wick here on the 4H, I'm essentially gone long after that on the hourly time frame, looking for price to essentially hold that again. And see some more upside, and I'm looking for price to come back and run those highs there, and another move back into those highs up there. So yeah, that's the theory behind the trade. Also, I'm still expecting to see if we can look for dollar to roll over, coming back into these highs here. And for me, if dollar's going to go bullish, it has to break through this level, and then we can probably go and attack those highs up there. If we don't, and we respect these highs, which so far we are doing, I expect the dollar to come back to 95,600. So that's kind of the theory behind the trade. But yeah, we did have quite a nasty wick there on that previous candle closure. So it looks like we might be coming back in for a retest. And if we do get a successful retest, I'll probably see if I can get another entry to take that further. But yeah, currently in Euro USD long, I'm looking for a move to the upside. If we do actually break through this level, then I can potentially see Euro coming all the way back down to these lows here. So if we actually do break through that low and that level gives way, I'll probably look for a retest of that to get price to see if we can get a move back down to those lows, because essentially I'll see the range, kind of getting filled again. So yeah, that's the thought process behind that trade. And yeah, I'm looking at Eurocad as well, potentially for some shorts on that one, if momentum can kind of build up a little bit. What else? USD-CAD, I'm seeing if we can get some shorts on that one. So far, nothing there yet, but if you can continue some momentum, maybe some shorts. Still a bit too early for that one, but yeah, I think Eurocad, if momentum can continue, I'm essentially looking for a break and retest of that level, nice support, time resistance. And I'm seeing if we can maintain that bear structure for another move lower. So yeah, I do have my eye on Eurocad as well. Sure thing, MJ. We'll take a look at gold. So yeah, gold's been a bit of a funny one. We saw quite an aggressive move to the downside yesterday. Very strong reaction from 1828. Yeah, and I think gold can see a bit more downside, to be honest. Again, it's definitely not the cleanest pair, so I'm not entirely made up my mind about this one. I'm not really looking to trade it, but if gold can pull up for me one more time, put another lower high, I'll definitely be looking for some shorts to take this one back down again, because we did put a lower high in yesterday at this area. Very strong move, so you can put another one in. I would expect price just to slowly roll over for gold, and we could probably look at some moves into these areas, maybe even down here as well. So yeah, I do think gold we can see some downside, but it's just not clear. So I'm not really looking to get any entries on it or anything. But yeah, I'll look for another major lower high, and then I'll stick some shorts on if we can get some mass entries. But yeah, gold not moving the best for me right now. But yeah, I hope that helped. Check out pound JPY short thing. No problem, Ross. Happy to help, man. Short things sound. Take a look at pound JPY for you. Yeah, so pound JPY. So yeah, pound JPY has been fairly bullish recently. I was expecting to see price come back to the 158, which is this area here. 158, really nice high there. Massive dump to the downside. Price kind of, because it's missed it, not by many pips, I'm going to kind of consider price hitting that, because if I drew that level on the weekly time frame, price actually kind of hit the level. It just hasn't hit it on the daily. So essentially we could roll over for pound JPY if price wanted to. I mean, it's a need for some retracement. It's a need for some retracement, but right now we haven't had much evidence that we're going to roll over just yet. I want to see price put a lower high in, because that could actually give us a really nice sell setup for some downside here. When we did break through this level here, oh, that's the wrong one. When we did break through this level here, we never got the retest of it. We almost did get it this morning, to be honest, with that wick. So I do think we could see some nice sells back into that level, but I will be looking for that lower high first and kind of get a bit of a head and shoulder pattern. So left, head, right, sell. But yeah, that's what I'm kind of looking at for pound JPY, because although it's been very bullish, higher time frames have been very bullish, I wouldn't really look to buy it now. I'll probably only look to sell it, because I do think that when we do turn bearish, it will probably give us a really nice move, a lot of pips, especially pound JPY. So I'm looking for those sells, but yeah, I'm patiently waiting to get them. But as of right now, I wouldn't short the pair yet. I need price to give me another lower high first before we can take those lows. But yeah, that's what I'm anticipating for pound JPY. Another move up, and then if we do form that lower high, come down. If you're looking just to play the trend, then sure, you can look to buy the pair. Just keep in mind where you're at in the market, and it is coming to some daily resistance, and kind of already approached those weekly highs. So if the market did want to see some downside, that is generally the area where I would expect it to happen. So there could be some nice buys there, but I wouldn't hold on it for too long, just in case if the market does turn bearish. Yeah, it has been very volatile. Gold up, down, very volatile. Now it's coming back into some support. So yeah, I haven't really found a clear opportunity in gold here. I was actually thinking about potentially selling it yesterday, but I said I'll probably not because of FOMC, and I wanted to see how the daily candle was going to close. And obviously that daily candle actually closed bearish, so yeah, I'm going to be on the sidelines for gold. Till further notice. But yeah, I do have an eye on NZCAD as well, if we can see some downsides come and fill the gap in. So I do think if NZCAD can break through that level, that is what I'm expecting it to head towards. But again, we need a lot of momentum to go and do that. So we'll be staying patient for that. But NZCAD, I do think could open up some really, really nice sells there. UCCHF still just about holding on to that level of support resistance. Like I said, if we hold on to this level, I do think UCCHF can roll over back down to these lows here. Essentially, resistance is holding. We can see that bearish momentum come through again. If that resistance gives way, then we might be looking at a reversal. But yeah, essentially we're still holding on to this resistance. So for me, we could still turn bearish here, especially if we do see DXY take another drop to the downside. That could really help UCCHF out. But if we do see dollar turn bullish, then we'll probably will snap through this level. Seeing some momentum coming now, but again, only dealing candle closures. I'm not really looking at that candle too much. You can see the previous candle actually pull back and close back above that trend line. Still got 19 minutes left. And again, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but normally in the hourly candle, you see a lot of the movement happens in the last kind of 10 minutes of that candle. So the first 50, price is kind of moving, set some direction. In the last 10 minutes, you see the price pull back or push further. I don't know if that's on purpose, if the market does that on purpose, because it does mess with a lot of people's heads, because at one point the candle's looking very, very bullish, like for example this one, looking very, very bearish. You might be, let me just put a little sell in here, so I can take advantage of the opportunity just in case the price dumps further. I can already be in some profit by the time the candle's closed. And then you see by the time the candle closes, actually pull back a little bit against you. So it's always best to wait for those candles to close, because they can be deceiving. And yeah, that last 10 minutes or so, sometimes even last 5, sometimes where candles pull back quickly, do some movement. So do always wait for those candles to close. Yeah, Eurocad still kind of holding on to that support time resistance. So yeah, if that momentum doesn't follow through, then we could actually go and break through this level and see more upside. And the whole short for Eurocad that I'm looking for would just be invalid, or not a good setup, I should say. Because yeah, this is showing evidence that price is holding support, and that's not what I want price to do. I want price to dump right back below. Shows that this is a false break of that high and we could roll over. I know this level is still holding, but I wouldn't go short. Price is holding support, so it's kind of key that the bearish momentum continues to roll over into this next candle. If it doesn't, then I'll just keep my eye on it, but I probably wouldn't be looking at any trades, and I'll definitely be focusing on that daily candle. When we do face cap, I don't know, because my computer screens don't have webcam, so I need to actually buy a webcam to kind of clip on. I think that's how they do it. I'm not too sure about that, but I think you can buy ones to clip on maybe, then get a little USB into the computer. But yeah, essentially, the only reason why I actually just show that angle is because I just don't have a webcam. And it's just easier for me to do it like that, and that way you can kind of see me analyze the charts. And yeah, for my weekly analysis, I just do it for my intros and my outros. But the actual analyzing of the markets and where I'm saying where potential price might go for the week is also the same camera angle as well. And I thought it was edgy as well. I thought it was quite edgy. But yeah, if people want to see my face, I mean, I don't blame them. I could invest into a webcam, a little clip-on one. And also there's no room for me to put my camera behind my computer either, because I'm up against the wall, so I can't really put the camera there to face me. I suppose I could move my desk back, but it's just a bit of a hassle really. Yeah, fair enough, doesn't really matter. I mean, at the end of the day, me facing the cam or me not facing the cam is not going to make my analysis any better. So yeah, it's not vital. Eurocad's still holding onto that support, so that's not the best there for Eurocad, but we'll see how that closes. Essentially that momentum there kind of looks like it's failing. It's edgy, yes, looks like a camera's spying in a room for an old cabra. Well, I guess you're spying on me whilst I do my analysis. To be fair, I have seen some other people with the same camera angle. Not a lot of them. A lot of people do it face cam, but I've seen a couple with this. Might be starting a trend. To be fair, trendsetter. To be fair, they're probably doing it before me, to be honest. Okay, looks like Euro kind of flipped bullish there. Again, still not moving the best, but that's the thing about ranging markets. You know, it's either excuse me. That's the thing about ranging markets. It either holds the support, or it breaks through the support. As simple as trending. Price could trend, you know, retrace a little bit more. You know, it can do a lot of stuff, consolidate before it goes bullish again or bearish. But essentially a ranging market does whatever it wants, but it's just contained within support and resistance. So it makes it quite simple to trade, because essentially you just want your stop loss below the support. Obviously bearing in mind about false breaks and all of that stuff, but that's essentially what the market's all about. So that's why I said if the market does come back into here and I get another signal, you know, I'll be more than happy to add another trade. But yeah, if the market still does come back, I'll still be looking to add another trade. Obviously, if I get a signal, if there's no signal, then there's nothing for me to add to, but we'll see how that one goes. Can you trade two pairs at once and say one is USD long and the other Eurocad short? Feels like I'm going against myself. Yeah, I completely agree with that as well, because I'm actually looking to go short on Eurocad. But yeah, the thing about that is it just doesn't add up. So I kind of avoid doing that. There's many times where I've been on the live stream where I've been in a certain trade, but I'm looking at another pair that actually goes against my trade. And most of the time, I would only take the trade if I can get the one I'm initially in is at break even. So obviously there's no money lost with that one. So if things do reverse, cool, I haven't lost any money, and I can still, you know, jump into the other position. But I wouldn't get into both of the trades at the same time. So if I was just getting to Eurocad short like right now and getting to Euro USD long right now, I wouldn't do that, because yeah, probably one will work, one will fail, but there's no point. You just look for the better opportunity, the better trade, and take that one. The better candlestick pattern, the better level, the better, you know, multi-time frame analysis, just choose that one rather than pick both. So yeah, I wouldn't do it at the same time. But for example, if Euro USD, which I'm currently in right now, if Euro USD was like trading up here and I'll break even, then yeah, I'll be more than happy to get into Eurocad sells. But yeah, I wouldn't do it at the same time. But yeah, you are contradicting yourself. because essentially you want euro weakness for your Eurocad trade, but you want euro strength for your USD trade. So yeah, it doesn't make sense. One will probably work and one will probably fail, depending on your stop loss and all of that. UAD going up a little. We'll take a look at that. UAD, UAD for me potentially could come to the downside, but purely just for retracement. It doesn't have to. But yeah, I'm mainly focused if UAD can give us a strong daily close for UAD to pull back and put a higher low in. Because if UAD pulls back and give us a higher low, that means there's a good chance the price will continue on this bullish path. And like I said, 1.59, 1.58, 800 will be the target for UAD up there, because this could be the bit of a bottom for that bearish move, and now you could be seeing the bullish move down back into these areas and maybe even further as well. So yeah, UAD again wasn't really bothered with those shorts there to begin with. It's just simple, just looking for that retracement. But if you can put a high low in, yeah, I can see a lot more upside for UAD, especially if the daily does continue that momentum. But we are coming to some strong areas of supply and resistance down the left, so we could still roll over, but I wouldn't expect major moves. If you do see major moves, like I said, you could come back down to those lows. But I haven't really made up my mind too much about UAD. I'll wait for the daily close, wait to see which way it puts its low at, whether low high or high low, and then that will be a much more clearer setup of where UAD could go next. Yeah, no problem, MJ. Happy to help, man. Yeah, so we'll see what happens here. I mean, I was going through Euro USD price action yesterday, and this particular, because I know this is DXY, this is not Euro USD, but they're kind of like the same thing but flipped in terms of the way they look. This price action here reminds me a lot of some price action that happened not too long ago on Euro USD, where the market did sell off a little bit. And if I just go onto that for you guys, which is all the way over here, where we had such a strong move to the upside. I don't know if you guys remember this, but we had such a strong move to the upside over here. This is back in July 2020. Wow, that's actually a long time ago. Didn't realize it was that long. But yeah, July 2020, quite a big move to the upside here. And then price was looking like it was about to turn over. And I remember trading this price action here, and we fell to the downside here, and I was expecting prices to continue. We came back up. I wasn't sure if it was going to go bullish or bearish, and then we fell over. I was like, okay, so now it's going to continue, and then it moved back up again, and I'm like, is this trying to go bullish or bearish? And then it fell over again, and I'm like, okay, now it's going to continue. So the price action that's happening now for DXY is kind of like this. Again, could do whatever it wants, but it reminds me of this price action here. So if I go back to the DXY right now, you can see it kind of rolls over. I'm expecting it to continue, doesn't move back up. I'm expecting it to continue, doesn't move back up. I'm expecting that to continue, maybe moves back up again. But essentially, the resistance is holding, which was the key information out from the Euro USD. Resistance didn't really break. Price kept holding on to it. So that's why, you know, I'm short Euro USD, expecting that move to happen, because I'm not expecting this price to break through this area. If it does, then I'm probably wrong and price is coming to these highs. But if it doesn't, then we could see that collapse. So yeah, that reminded me of that price action, but I didn't realize it was that far ago. Bitcoin short thing. Again, I will be ending the live stream in about 7 minutes or so. So if any of you guys want me to take a look at a certain pair, feel free to let me know. I'll get onto Bitcoin and NAS as well. Don't worry about that, Captain Fab. But yeah, Bitcoin, let's see what Bitcoin's doing. Last time I checked, Bitcoin is quite bearish. Yeah, it is quite bearish still. So yeah, Bitcoin took a hit yesterday. Again, all that dollar strength will be driving Bitcoin to the downside. It looks like it's going to potentially take out this wick. So I did say on my weekly analysis that I do think Bitcoin will probably see some downside if it does break through this lovely support over here. If it does break through this support, I do think Bitcoin will roll over. It did break through that support, and then we did see that push. And I do think it's coming to the low of this wick here. I do think we'll take out the low because, again, I've been going through Bitcoin as well, and I've noticed that when Bitcoin does do quite an aggressive dump, haven't really checked this for the long side of things, but the bearish side of things, when Bitcoin does kind of crash, and it leaves quite a big spike behind it, normally, most of the time, 8 times out of 10, Bitcoin eventually comes back to fill the wick. And I've seen that happen a lot of the time, so that's why I was fairly confident that Bitcoin will eventually go fill the wick. You can see over here, it did it again, nice wick to the downside, price started moving up, and then eventually came back to fill the wick. So I think that's what Bitcoin is doing now, it's filling the wick, and it's going to come back and probably test this key support here on the left, which is a very, very key support at 40k. So it'll be interesting to see what we do at 40k, whether we hold or break through, because you can see nice push, pull back, form that higher low for that push. So if we do break through that, Bitcoin could actually open up a lot of downside into the 30k mark. Obviously that's a bit more long term, but we could see that move. So yeah, if you're looking at trading Bitcoin, there could be some nice longs here. Again, I wouldn't place long-term buys here for price to come back to highs and stuff, but you probably would catch some nice moves from that level. But yeah, for me, Bitcoin probably will take that wick on the left. I'll be looking at 40k to see what it does there. We might come back into this level here because we never got the retest of it when we broke through. Again, FOMC just took us to the downside, so we could come back to revisit. But yeah, I'll keep my eye out on 40k, 4500 to see what price action does there for some buys. But again, I think not long-term buys, just some short-term buys. Could present some nice opportunities, but I think that wick will be taken out soon. We'll take a look at NAS now, and then yeah, I'll take a look at Pound CAD and Pound NZD as well. So yeah, for this one, looking heavily bearish. Again, melted the downside yesterday, which I was not expecting. Very, very aggressive move. We're coming back into some key support now, so I'm saying longs could be looking good, but I don't think they will last too long. I think we're getting ready to take these lows out and see a lot more downside into some of these areas, into 14,800, 1,500 there. Well, not 1,500, 15,000. So yeah, I think we can see a lot more downside. But if you're trading on like the hourly, I do think there will be some nice temporary longs here to the upside, but I think market will come straight back down to break it. So it's either how you wanna play it. If you're looking for those shorts, which I do think will happen, if they do happen, they need to break through that support. So you can look for that break, the retest, and get some sales from that. But if we come here and start holding, you can look for some temporary buys. But yeah, if price starts looking like it's about to roll over, I'll probably look to exit because I do think we can tank. But yeah, some temporary buys from there, maybe some opportunity to sell it back down. That's how I'll play that one. Pound CAD, Pound NZD, we'll get into that now. No problem, MJ, you two may have a good day as well. Yeah, so Pound CAD coming into key level of support and resistance on the left. We'll see if we can hold that or not. If not, we can see a lot more upside. But the fact that we're coming in so aggressively is not too good there for Pound CAD. It means that we might be pushing up further. Does actually look like we're resting above that level. So Pound CAD for me still looking bullish. I do think this level will actually break, to be honest, because we've had a successful break and retest of this high here on the left. So I do think if we can push through, there's a lot more upside here for Pound CAD. So yeah, Pound CAD looking bullish. I wouldn't really look to buy it just yet, just because the daily candle hasn't closed. We could still pull back below. But yeah, I think buys are looking good for Pound CAD with how we're moving on the daily, and the 4H are still looking bullish. So yeah, I wouldn't sell it unless we can snap back below If anything, buys are looking good. Pound NZD, yeah, so pound CAD, I wouldn't sell that one. Pound NZD could present some nice sells, but I want the daily candle to close first, because essentially, we're looking for pound NZD to hold this level of resistance here. But the day still has about 10 hours left, and if the day still wants to pump to the upside, it can still pump at any point in time throughout those 10 hours. So sells for me just a tad too aggressive, really. I do think we can roll over if we do reject this level back down to some of these areas here. So I do think the shorts will be looking good, but it's better to be a bit more patient, wait for price to give us the first move, and then we can get in on the second or the third retracement. Because again, if I do measure in pips between that level and that level, that's over 300 pips. We don't need to catch all 300 of those pips to make a good profit out of that. So yeah, for me, pound NZD shorts will be looking good if we can respect it. So far, there's not much there, and price for me is looking still way too bullish. It's a bit too aggressive, so I'll wait for the daily candle to close. If the daily can give us a nice wick to the upside and pull back, that will show rejection on the daily. Then tomorrow can hit some nice sells. If the daily closes bullish above here, then I'll probably just leave those sells altogether. So yeah, sells in pound CAD and pound NZD could be looking good, but we need to see a lot more rejection first. But yeah, we do have the 12 o'clock closure for the candles there. So Euro closed not too well, to be honest, with doji there. So yeah, we could still revisit that support. We'll see how price moves throughout the day. I do have NFP tomorrow, so if price is not moving too well before NFP, I might just, depending where we are, just cut the trade, to be honest. But if we can see some momentum, I'm looking at a move into that, and then if we can break through that, I'm looking at a move into those highs. Like I said, if we can get the reversal, maybe even further as well. As pairs that I've got my eye on for tomorrow and the rest of the day, like I said, Eurocad, I do have my eye on this one, but I need to see that bearish momentum, roll over and break through this low, and then I'll be, more than happy to catch some shorts for Eurocad and take this one right back down. NZD CAD, I'm looking for price to snap through this level here, out this range, and then catch some sales back down to 0.85500, and then yeah, I'll take NZD CAD to the downside. Other than that, use the CAD shorts as well, but that one's not looking too good just yet, so I'll keep my eye out, and if I do get something, I'll let you guys know in my Telegram. So make sure to check that out. But yeah, guys, other than that, not too much there. So yeah, I'll catch you guys next week. I will be live again next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, same time, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. GMT. So I hope I see you guys there. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, guys. If you are enjoying the content, leave a like on the video if you did enjoy the video, and yeah, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any uploads in the future. But take care, guys. Hope you all have a great day. Again, watch out for tomorrow NFP. Don't want to forget that one. And yeah, hope you all have a good weekend to rest up, and we can go again next week.
Oh.